I've been needing to find a new apartment, which has not been easy with credit as bad as mine. Luckily, I found cosigning.com. They connected me with a cosigner who helped me get my dream apartment for me and my dog. I just paid a small fee and was able to move in fast. Get the cosigner you need for the apartment you want. Check out cosigning.com today.
Say goodnight, Somalis. You will no longer be out here. We need a song for this. I don't think everybody, what is with people lacking foresight? How do you not see what's already going on? We're only a couple of 100 days into Trump's presidency. You got over 1,000 to look forward to. He just uncovered 50 fucking percent that we know of in Minneapolis and Minnesota, the Twin Cities. 50% of that we know of the Somalians that have been brought over here, their invasion, were all naturalized due to fraud. Whether it was fraudulent marriages, fraudulent death certificates, it's fraud. That means even your naturalized citizenship, it's nothing. It's bullshit. It's toilet paper now. Just like that other guy, that superintendent that I did a video on yesterday, of the schools. Do you know we don't even know what country he came from? We have really no idea who the fuck this guy is. But the Democrats pushed him through to a cushy $250,000 a year job as a superintendent of Des Moines high schools. He used immigration fraud also, which even the Biden administration means it's null and void. I don't care how many years you've been here, all that's out the window, you're gone. But they're specifically targeting the Twin Cities Somalian community. Last time I checked, that's whose stronghold? Oh yeah, the terror bitch. The one that hates white people, hates the country, yet she's magically getting boned by a white guy every single night. But wait a minute. Don Lemon hates white men, admittedly, but he's afraid of them, but he's not afraid to let them bone him every night. But then I was listening, right, to Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, AOC. She was trying to tell me specifically about the dangers of these white men. But she's getting smacked up and down by one every night too. Ketanji Brown and the rest of them. Serena Williams. It's like they're not practicing what they preach. It's all just scams. There was a push by the World Economic Forum to do these invasions, bringing the third world into the United States, into Europe. Europe is fucked. Canada is screwed. Not the US. We're pushing back. Unfortunately, there probably are a few Somalis that like this country and love America, want to be Americans. But again, conditioning and radicalization pushed by Ilhan Omar to hate the country, hate the people here. We're concerned with Somalian issues, etc. Well, guess what, people? You'll be back home soon, and then you can make Somalia great again. Because you're coming over here, right? Telling us how we should run our governments, but yours is fucked up. Now you're going to have to lead by example. And I don't want to see you guys crying on the news. I don't want to see reports of, oh, Trump's deporting citizens. You were only a citizen because of fraud. You're not a real citizen. You didn't really go through you lied. So you tricked us. You committed forgeries just so you can be here. You're gone. That's over. Why do you think we're doing specifically an investigation into the Twin Cities area? Because this dumb fucking idiot terrorist wrote a check that her community's ass is not going to be able to cash.
And so the idea that this is a white nation that needs to be preserved is a fascinatingly disgusting view, because And so,
which is a very odd stance to take, because you idiot, ungrateful piece of hyena shit. You knew this was a white nation when you fucking decided to come here, when you begged to come here, when you pleaded to come here, when you committed fraud to come here. You knew this was a white nation. We spoke a white language, English. Our primary religions, Catholicism, Christianity. You knew our culture was white when you came here. You're from Somalia. If this is a war-torn country and you're looking for asylum, how many other non-white countries did you pass over to come to the United States? All of them. let's be honest. You could have went to Nigeria. You could have went to South Africa. You could have went to Kenya. You could have went to Brazil. You could have settled in Mexico and sought asylum there. Those are not white countries. They don't have a white president. There's no Trump. Why, if you feel like this about the United States, why the fuck did you come here? Why'd you want to be here? You know, I have another friend. He's I believe he's Palestinian. And he asked me the same question. He's like, oh, so you believe this is a white nation? Your fucking parents knew it was a white nation when they fucking decided to come here. The reason they didn't go to Nigeria, Benin, the reason they didn't go to Equatorial Guinea or Argentina, or they went to this country in particular because they wanted to assimilate and be white. Don't lie to me now, because you grew up here, you're used to it. When you're used to something, you take it for granted. You don't appreciate it anymore because it was given to you. You didn't have to earn it. Your parents flew over all these other places because they wanted to be closer to white people, because white people were stable. They didn't come here to be around blacks. You don't even live in a black neighborhood. Ilhan Omar doesn't live around blacks. She lives around Somalians. Somalians don't consider themselves black. They're Africans. They're Somalians. Completely different group of people. Her group of people have now been radicalized. They all hate the United States, and there's other ones that are trying to run in politics now, pushing this anti-American agenda, and we're just not gonna have it. My predictions, I think at the speed that things are collapsing on Ilhan Omar, I'm hoping she'll be gone before New Year's. One day, mark my words, you will wake up and it will be national news. ICE abducts, ICE kidnaps Ilhan Omar representative. But before that happens, guess what Trump administration is going to have? And they're never going to post on the mainstream media. I don't know why they're not. What the fuck y'all going to do? You're going to run up on us in the military? We got full law enforcement. Good luck. But let the media hype you up if they want to, whatever. Before she's kicked out of this country, we're going to have concrete proof she committed immigration fraud. For one thing, her brother is a gay Somalian, and you're pretty much marked for death in your country. They had her marry him so that he can get citizenship and come to the United States, but she's not having sex with him or having kids with him. It was just to commit fraud. Also, this is her second marriage. There's fraud in both. When she is detained by ICE, she's gone. There is no saving her. There's no getting her out. Waste your money on a lawyer if you want to. She will be gone, and she will never be allowed to come back to the United States. I want to see what I'm looking forward to. I want to see how loud this broad's going to be in Somalia. I want to see her talk that cash money shit to the Somalian men. And whatever little farce, bullshit government they have in Somalia, I want to see her talk about the Sudan and Kenya. I want her to tell them how they should run their fucking governments. I want to see how much they humor her, because she talks big shit over here about us. I want to see what she's going to do when she gets back home, when there's no white men in uniforms with guns to protect her freedom of speech and to make sure she has rights. I want to see what happens when she's kicked the fuck out. This is not for nothing. They're telling you this now just so you know what's about to happen to her and all of her little radical, that little army she's creating of these Somalis and that have taken over the Twin Cities in Minnesota, that think that they can just ransack and overwhelm an entire American city and turn it into tiny little Somalia. You have assholes and elbows mixed up. We're not having it. They're all going to be gone. We are going to deport millions of Somalians. That entire community. And we're not going to let you leave your children here just because they were born here. They're going with you. Because remember, birthright citizenship is not going to apply. That's not going to save you this time. So I'm going to let them finish up and say what else is happening in this press conference.
Since September 19th, officers from our Fraud Detection and National Security Directorate, working in teams, have conducted over 1,000 site visits across the Minneapolis-St. Paul area as part of this operation. What they found should shock all of America.
I'm shocked already. I'm shocked that we let shit get this far. But you know what this means? It just gives us something to do. It gives our law enforcement something to do. Yeah, we're going to go ahead and get these people up out of here. Sometimes you let something grow, you let the problem persist, and it just gives you a purpose. We are going to get these people all the way up out of here. They're all the way getting kicked the fuck out. And I want to see their illustrious leader, Ilhan Omar. I want to see her guide them. Because once she's arrested, it'd be in her best interest for telling the rest of her clan to self-deport. I want to see what she does. I want to see if she's going to make us go drag them the fuck out of here and put them the reverse slave trade. We can send their ass back to Africa. I want to see if she's going to give them good advice and say, just self-deport. The jig is up. Get up out of there. We don't like it there anyway. We don't like America. We don't like white people. We don't like hamburgers. We don't like what they say on TV. We don't like it. Take your ass back home.
On a list of over 1,000 target cases involving more than 900 individuals, our officers encountered blatant marriage fraud, visa overstays, people claiming to work at businesses that can't be found, forged documents, abuse of the H-1B visa system, abuse of the F-1 visas, and many other discrepancies.
Boy, they was getting away with immigration murder. Every single thing that we allowed for them, it's every inch was 100 miles. We give you H-1 visas to try to bring people over here, thinking we're helping them. We're finding them housing. We're letting them be sponsored by businesses saying that they work there. And there was no enforcement. Because think about it, who's going to enforce? Somebody from that area. They're all going to work for Ilhan. They're all Democrats. So everyone there was involved in the fraud. What did these fucking people, did they think this was going to go on forever? We were just going to forever allow them to abuse our kindness, spit in our faces and say, what? You're not going to do nothing? Because why wouldn't we do nothing? Because of the Constitution. You're not an American. The Constitution is something you don't respect anyway. You can't bring it up and think it's going to save you when it's convenient. You don't live by it. And that's the funny part about all this. They all thought that they could just get away with basically just ripping us off and scamming us. How long? And that's the thing. It would have lasted if they could have just stayed in power. Now we have a president with balls. These people are gone. He just named there's 10 different, that's at least 10 different ways that fraud has been committed in immigration. He's saying 50% of the immigrants in Minnesota. It could be 90. Maybe only 10% of them are actually legit marriages, or it's probably higher than that. Whatever the case is, Ilhan Omar is in there. Whatever the case is, she's not the exception to the rule. Her entire fucking family, they're gone. they are going to be forced to make Somalia great again. But I have a feeling, right? The Somalians, when they get returned to sender, they're going to put belt to ass. They're not going to let her talk that stupid shit. Basically, the amount of spit that we let you throw in our faces because we're good people and because we try to respect what you say, these other countries don't have that. That's why the only people you see making videos like this on YouTube, they're all Americans, because we're the only ones with freedom of speech. We're the only ones that don't have to self-censor. You know, if I was in the UK right now talking like this, there'd be a knock at my door. And there'd be somebody British not offering me 10 crumpets, but offering to take me to prison or to arrest me for expressing my thoughts on immigration. Fuck the UK and their immigration bullshit. We're Americans. We don't have to go to the Ukraine. It's not even the greatest place anymore. It's pretty much gone. They've been conquered by the Saudis, but actually they're conquered by the World Economic Forum, who's just literally flooded their country with all their degenerates from the third world. We're reversing that here. We allowed that for years. Ilhan Omar, her Somalian people, their clans, they've all invaded the United States. Now they're all about to be kicked the hell out. Listen to this man. He means business. They discovered so much fraud. And then it's an 18-minute video. I didn't play the whole thing. They even talked about how when they go to do site visits on these people, mobs of Somalians surround them and run them out of the area. So they couldn't even do their job. Law enforcement hand is tied behind their back because they're afraid of the Somalian community, because the Somalians have the majority in an American fucking city. A lady I deal with in Canada, in Thunder Bay, she said they have the exact same issue with the children of Somalian immigrants in Thunder Bay, Canada. So these people are not just coming to the United States creating problems. They're creating problems everywhere they go. We return to sender. If it wasn't for our Second Amendment, we'd be in trouble. We have that, though. You're out of here one way or the other. But there are places that you could go interim. We call them boxes, right? We have 2 boxes available for you. We have one made of metal with bars on it. We have one made of pine. You can choose a box or you self-deport, but you're gone any way it goes.
Encountered blatant marriage fraud, visa overstays, people claiming to work at businesses that can't be found, forged documents, abuse of the H-1B visa system, abuse of the F-1 visas, and many other discrepancies. Over the course of the operation, our officers found indication of fraud, non-compliance, or public safety and national security concerns in nearly a little less than 50% of the cases interviewed.
50%. Now, this is them being generous. Once they get into the weeds, I'm sure it's going to be much higher. But guess what? They can go.
And so the idea that this is a white nation that needs to be preserved is a fascinatingly disgusting view, because this country is one for the many. And so the idea.
This country is not one for the many. This country has experienced such success and wealth that sometimes you feel that you owe it to the world to give back. This country has been far too generous to the point where those who we've attempted to help have literally taken our kindness for weakness. That is not going to last. That's a thing of the past. We're moving past the niceties and formalities. We will insult you to your face. We'll insult your governments. And if you don't like it, you can self-deport, or we will deport you. If you're an American citizen and you don't like it, you can go with Ilhan Omar, and you and her can go start a new life together. Why stay here and complain and be unhappy? Go where you're wanted, not where you're tolerated. Isn't that the phrase? Isn't that the saying? You don't like that this is a white country, then you go pick another non-white country to live in. You're not going to turn our country into Somalia or into Palestine or into Nigeria or you're not going to turn our country into one of these places that you fled from. My family came from Cuba. When California started doing communist bullshit, I left. My family didn't come here to go back through communism. We avoided it. But these are people coming from countries where they want to see the aspects of it that they ran away from. They want them repeated here in the United States. Why would we allow that? We wouldn't. And those who sympathize with her, just because you're an American, doesn't mean a fucking thing to me. Because eventually, when the fighting starts, you're one of them. You will also be sent to prison. You will be sitting there with them. Hopefully, they'll accept you. But we won't care because you won't be out here at a part of polite society. You won't have to be a part of American society. Trump won't be any of your. You won't have any of these issues no more. You'll be off the streets. What you think while you're on the inside reading books and having sex with men, that's none of our concern. Ilhan Omar will not be here anymore. That's why we're announcing we've literally started a crackdown in her city. Her entire structure, she built her own system around her own ecosystem. We're going to remove her entire ecosystem, and we will remove her as well. She's actually she's the head of the snake. Remember the squad? Most of them are gone. We only got like 2 or 3 of these monsters left. Hopefully the view implodes pretty soon. All these people are anti-American, anti-family, anti-white. That's racist. You can't be anti-white in a primarily white country, speaking a white language, trying to get white people to kill themselves. That's not going to happen. My family chose to come here because these people were white. There were benefits. If you did not want to come here because it's a white nation, then you're in the wrong country. But guess what? We're going to go ahead and fix that for you. We're going to clear it up. You will be going home soon. Somalians, say goodnight and say goodbye to the Twin Cities. You might want to start looking for Airbnbs and real estates in, what's the capital of Somalia? Timbuktu? What is it? I don't even, I'm fairly good with geography. Let's see here. What is the capital? What is the city name? What's the biggest city? What is the biggest city in Somalia? Mogadishu. Not Timbuktu, Mogadishu. My bad, my mistake. So we're going to see if when they get to Mogadishu, they're going to show their governing expertise. And they're going to just turn that place into a tech hub or some kind of business hub or some kind of, what do you call it, a beacon of democracy in the region. I mean, if you look at Ilhan Omar and as many skills as her and her constituents claim they have about what we should do different in America, then they should be able to outpace Israel in less than 5 years once she gets back there. But right now we have a monopoly on the immigration. As Americans, we're going to do the right thing going forward. We need to spread the wealth. So we're going to spread this wealth of genius Somalians. We're going to spread them back to Somalia so that we're not taking their best and their brightest, and we're going to help make Somalia great again. Aren't you happy? I am. And they get to go home and be free. They don't have to worry about American oppression, white people. They ain't got to worry about Trump. Those are just problems of the past. You know, we'll solve the problems for you.
This country is one for the many. And so,
no, it's not.
The idea that this is.
So anyway, like and subscribe, share the video. Congratulations to the Somalian community. You will be returned to sender. I heard the weather's nice too. And you guys are on the coast. You don't have to live in the snow anymore. Congratulations. You're free. Share the video, like and subscribe. Right Wing Rico, a single boyfriend. Let's talk about it. 7 different platforms. My subscribers are climbing every hour. So I want to say thank you to everybody who's been following my content, leaving comments, everyone who's just subscribing and getting updates about my videos. I appreciate YouTube adding me to the algorithm so more people can see my content. I'm just a guy complaining on the internet about the things that I see going on around me. I'm making sense of it all. I'm trying to help you make a sense of it. A lot of people that I know personally they want it, the news is depressing, so they like to check in once a week. So what I'll do is I'll give you your weekly updates. I'll keep you apprised about what's going on so that it all makes sense. Because when you're jumping in and out, it just seems like it's chaotic. Just know that things are actually going in the right direction. That's all you really need to know. I say this because I had already evacuated the United States under the Biden administration. I came back and I'm going to fight for my homeland now that Trump's president. I gave up on you people at one time. But now I have faith because there's hope. America first, America only. But America first also means Americans first. So when we're talking about removing illegals, those jobs or those places where they live, that's why the rents are so high. That's why you can't get work. Now that the illegals are gone, the demand on the housing goes down. Rents go down. Now you can actually work in these places where the illegals were getting paid half the price. The show must go on. So this is a good thing for all of us. Right Wing Rico, the single boyfriend. I'll see you guys again shortly. Thank you.
I've been needing to find a new apartment, which has not been easy with credit as bad as mine. Luckily, I found cosigning.com. They connected me with a cosigner who helped me get my dream apartment for me and my dog. I just paid a small fee and was able to move in fast. Get the cosigner you need for the apartment you want. Check out cosigning.com today.